Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of our culminating assignment. I hope that part 1 has treated you well and kind of given you a good stepping point into what this PSA campaign will look like. Do note that part 1 was just to get you thinking about what you wanted to look at and kind of get the brain juices flowing. Part 2 is really going to break down what components are necessary to hand in order to find success. Please do not forget that this is worth 30% of your final grade, so you absolutely need to get this handed in. So for part 2 is understanding the design of what a personal service, public service announcement is. And just like in part 1, your first step is to read over the slides and do a 3-2-1 worksheet. The slides have been linked here, as well as the worksheet, which has been linked here for the 3-2-1. The slides do correspond exactly to what is on the content pages for the course. However, I have taken it and really slimmed it down and made it less wordy. So we will go over the slides here in a second for step 1. But once you've completed that step 1 and you've handed in your 3-2-1 worksheet to the assignments section, and there will be a folder or a Dropbox, whatever you want to call it, to submit your part 2 3-2-1 worksheet, you will move into step 2, which is looking at examples of successful PSA campaigns. So if we look at step 2 here, you're going to watch 2 or 3 of the listed examples of PSAs. I found 4 there, so you do have a little bit of a selection. There are some PSAs linked in the content pages. You can use those as well, but I made this list for you so you don't have to click through and try to find everything. It is all right here. So once you have watched the 2 or 3 PSA videos, you will enter the discussion board on Brightspace titled Part 2, Step 2 PSA Campaign Discussion, and answer the following, which I have listed in this italicized font here. So you're going to post 2 or 3 reflection points that can inform the creative process of the PSA. So reflect on what you watched and what do you think needs to be done in the creative aspect in order to develop a successful PSA. Once you've posted, reflect and comment on 2 of the responses to the PSA examples made by your peers. So that means you are going to be responding to 2 peer posts. You really need to consider how the reflection points could inform the creative process of your own PSA for your social action campaign. So when you are responding to your peers, please keep this in mind here. So let's go back to step 1 now and look at the slides together, which I have created here. So this is the designing and planning phase. Here's your learning goals and success criteria. So your mind's on. So the purpose of a PSA is a non-commercial advertisement for positive change and public awareness. So some organizations may make a PSA to urge people to take action on things like child abuse or teach them how to protect their family for potential health risk threatening a community. PSAs are used to inform people of social issues or concerns, and they may promote a special community or international event to raise public awareness. So an example of this would be like Earth Hour. An intent of a PSA is to give information that will benefit the public rather than generate profit for a company. So for example, if we're looking at a health-related advertisement, if it is a PSA, it provides health information. If it's a health-related advertisement and it's a commercial, it'll be promoting the sale of a specific health product. So sometimes you see commercials related to health advertisements, looking at different kinds of drugs or prescriptions people can go into if they're dealing with a health crisis. So you really need to think of a PSA that you've seen on TV or use the internet to view some examples. Or, hey, you know what? Miss Borland kind of killed it and gave you that list on the Google Doc. So as I said, it's on, as you can see here at the top, this will appear in the Culminating Google Doc outline given out in class. We went over that. So here are some talking points that could help you create those 2 to 3 reflection points, okay? So you can use these to help you with the discussion post, and I will make sure these are linked in the discussion post on Brightspace. So to design your social action PSA campaign, you should have now developed the understanding necessary to begin the design phase from completing part 1 of this culminating assignment. So the objective here is to create and implement a social action PSA campaign that contains a video, a website, and an interactive element. An effective PSA will be when people see the PSA and are mobilized to act beyond the announcement itself. You'll provide viewers, which will be your classmates, with a means of moving along the stages of change continuum through deep discussion, insight, and interactivity that will empower them to become agents of change in the community after viewing your PSA. So looking at the video component of your PSA, so you're looking at it in a sense that it should raise awareness and inform or educate the public about a specific issue or topic. So you will create an engaging and informative PSA about your chosen subject or issue, not tissue, that's just the issue. For this campaign, your PSA will act as a thesis. It will present the issue or topic and the position that your campaign will stand on. It should include, but not be limited to, the 4 indicated bullet points here. Please pause the video to read those on your own. And you want to keep in mind that you should have an open mind to different ways to engage your audience as you create your PSA. So once again, video examples of what a PSA should look like are provided on the Google Doc outline. Storyboarding can be super helpful when creating a successful PSA. So really looking at using videos on how to create a PSA, which I have provided already in part 1, writing yourself a PSA script, looking for copy-free music, sounds, photos, and images. You can also use a storyboard outline on tools such as Canva, which we should all have access to. Here is a video you can watch explaining the importance of storyboarding, but for the sakes of this instructional video, I'm just going to skip over it. The final component of your PSA is the website. So this is where your targeted audiences can gain further information and insight into the issue or topic of your social action campaign. If done correctly, this means that your PSA should direct audiences to the website. So your PSA commercial or your PSA video should direct the audience to go to the website to find more information. And this will help show if you have effectively moved your audience through that change continuum, thus creating a successful social action campaign. So on your website that you will be handing in, you need to submit an editorial and an interactive element. Later on, I will be handing out a Google Doc outline like I have been with website generators. But if you know one that you're comfortable with, you can use that. But please just put this on pause until that Google Doc outline is shared on the daily announcements. So the editorial for that website should be about educating the audience. The PSA video is what brought them there, and the editorial is what you need to press your case as to why your audience should be interested in the cause and desire to do something proactive about it. In essence, your editorial should include these 5 bullet points. So once again, just for sakes of not making this video super duper long, please pause it and read over these 4 or 5 points. I apologize. So linked here are resources that can assist you in writing your editorial. Take a minute to look them over. These are just tools to help you out. You do not need to submit these. And the interactive element, here's a bunch of different ideas here. In semester 1, many students did Google Forms as an option. So this may have felt overwhelming, and yes, it's a lot of information, but the importance of this step 2 or part 2 is to make sure you understand exactly what you are creating inside of this campaign. If you have any comments, questions, concerns with doing things like making a video, please reach out, and I'm happy to go over some accommodations with you. But here we are with part 2. Good luck. I'm here if you need help.